Hi, my name is Trey, and this is a channel about my personal mythology, collective mythology of the past, present, and future, and I'd like to rock out for you. Today, I'd like to talk about the relationship between survival, solipsism, narcissism, and epigenetic-related moral relativity. Okay? I had a lot of small print in this, so I'm old six eyes again here. Okay? When someone such as myself moves to the state of California, um, it's a common theme, at least in this county. People come here to live out their dreams, which is a wonderful thing, right? The same being true for New York City, London, and many of the other wonderful coastal epicenter vortex spots for culture and music. Los Angeles. So, what happens to this naive person when they come to California to live out their dream is, you see, they're confronted with many other people attempting to live out their dream. Many other people attempting to live out the collective delusion and the collective nightmare, because that is all they've ever known. Again, with the financiers here, assuming the role of the authoritarian through the centuries, with the Conquistadores starting the way. Uh, we had the authoritarians come in, and particularly in this state, and the Draconian, and proclaim their rulership. So, one thing that I think most of us love about the Jewish writers in Hollywood would often give you this love for the underdog. Here I am, in the tent. I'm not here to save the day. I'm one of thousands of people on planet Earth, and I wish there were more with me here in California. But again, the majority of them are hustling to come up with the rent and the property tax, and I see them passing by, working their ass off to live their dreams, doing their great works. And after 3 years of coercion, I was coerced into receiving to survive. I used to get the majority of my income from collecting cans. I made it into a route along Ocean Street. I'd ask the people working at the gas stations and hotels, "You mind if I look through the garbage, not even recycle, and I won't leave a mess?" They said, "Sure," sometimes. And I usually make about $5 for 3 hours of work, because I noticed while I was busking with my guitar that more people would come up next to me and beg, or near me. I'd see them beg, and they would get my money, or they'd get more money than me. So after several years of this, I was in this place called the Bargain Barn. Was the stuff the Goodwill was about to destroy, that they couldn't sell. This clothes were $1 a pound, and my friend would give this lady some weed for stuff, and then give it to the homeless when they needed clothes. We were looking around in there, and I found a child's melodica with about 10 keys on the ground. So I played it a little while, and then I remembered this time about 10 years previous, or 7, 8 years previous before that. This girl I thought I was in love with, Alexis, a triple Gemini with brown curls, called my other best friend, Isaac, late at night one night and said, "We got a keg," or I forgot, there was a few cases of beer. "Want to go party and have a bonfire on the beach at Folly Beach?" And he said, "Sure." So we went out there, and she brought her $50 Hohner melodica, and I jammed with it, dancing around the fire, literally. So that's my story of the mystic origin of my becoming a one-man band. And then after after looking for cans for a few years, I used to. My friend had a company called Lifted, and I would get one of their cookies. It was hash baked into mostly dried fruits and nuts. And I taught myself a song about 4 or 5 days a week at the junction, near the Junction Park in Boulder Creek, California. And it took me 10 years to make $5 dinner money. But anyways, I'm getting off the subject here. So during that time, I lived with several people in their house, and again, this narcissistic character. And what I gotta say is that 95% of the people in California, unless they're really awakened, or spiritual masters, or enlightened, or born again fully, they have the subconscious imprint of survival mode, of the epigenetic moral relativity of the region. Okay, what does that mean? That means that they've taken on this big boys, fight for your life, grapes of wrath, every man for himself. It's all about the money. The slogans of Babylon are repeated. The whip is always there. Most of these landlords are always going to, feel the pressure to be abusive. Helicopter parents, they have to pay the crazy property tax. On and on and on. And the only guy who has been in this city, in this state for a long time, who has the courage to tell you the truth, is in a tent for a very important reason. Everyone else is invested in this financial madness and obedience to the big boys, or most people. But yeah, it's insane, literally, and everyone knows. But again, it's all about this epigenetic mind control, whereas you get used to the insanity over the years. Okay, so that's how it's done. The Kali Ma symbolism. Okay, so by calling the state California, you get again this image of this ancient bloodthirsty female god who will, with all her different hands. This is how Santa Cruz and California, the government, the people in government, subconsciously behave as if I will give you everything you need to survive. I will take everything you have that you don't need to survive. I will give you life if you dance around and you're a divine being. Nia, this man that passed on, we used to call Tweaker Jesus because he did meth and he called himself Jesus. He pointed out to me that the phonetic California, Kali, the spirit Kali Ma, for Nia. Nia means the divine child, he says. So the divine child is why they don't kill me, because I represent the divine child. The spirit of California is for me. But it's still the mafia or the Zeta, the Draco puppet masters. And how do you stop that in your personal life? You learn to do what Nancy Reagan's slogan they taught us in elementary school in the 1980s, just say no. Okay? Through meditation, through discernment, through relaxation. Okay, so when you're in California or New York City or London, you got the internally controlled situations. Okay, so I want to introduce to the world now a term I made up, or I channeled this idea since I've been making art and music since I was a small child. I do have to say, such as Mozart, Beethoven. The thing is that a lot of music and art is channeled. So when people say they're channeling, I don't question it, because I have channeled music, or else I would be an egomaniac narcissist to say I made up that melody. It's too beautiful. I didn't make it up. I just heard it, or I was inspired to situationally. So